Head east toward North Farm to Market Road 156.
Okay, it's a Friday, 11:55. It's earlier than I have been starting, but it's not as early as I wanted to start. Today is the 29th, I think. March 29th. It's a pretty nice day today. Over the last couple of weeks, we've gotten quite a bit of rain. Of course, you can't really complain about that, but it makes dashing difficult sometimes. And I think it's supposed to be about like this for the next few days through the weekend, I believe. And then I think a cool front, not a cold front, but a cool front is supposed to come through around Monday. And I think there's a chance of rain. Of course, all of that could change. We'll see. I often talk about the weather just because weather's important, but it's especially important if you're going to be out, kind of out in it, even if you're just driving around. I mean, I guess that goes without saying. I decided, we'll see if this goes anywhere, but I decided today, it being Friday, I'm going to try to get a little bit of footage that I might be able to post. I've gotten a lot of video recently that I decided at the end of the day I just delete. Just didn't feel like going through all of it and trying to figure out what I want to keep and what I don't. Most of it is just humdrum, everyday crap like usual. But I'm sure today won't be any different, but we'll see if I can get anything. There are a couple of things I want to get off my chest, though, to kind of kick things off, I guess. I'm going to have to probably pause because I don't have long before I got to do my drop-off. It's sort of a long story, so you're just going to have to bear with me. Sorry. I mean, yeah, you can always fast forward through it if it's boring. But, so let me first say, with door dashing, if you don't already know, one of the things they track is your overall rating. So, I think they send out like an email or something after you deliver. Of course, I've ordered off of DoorDash before, but it's been a while, and I don't order that much, so I don't remember exactly. But I think they send you an email after the delivery, sometime after the delivery, and ask you to rate the driver, the delivery. Anyways, I'm over 4,300 lifetime deliveries so far. I don't know how long I've been doing it. It's getting pretty close to a year now of door dashing. And I probably average my overall rating. I don't know if I said that already. So they track your overall rating via people's comments and responses to that email. So my overall rating, I would say average about 4.95, which to me is pretty good. And like I said, I'm probably going to have to pause for a second. Yep, let me pause so I can concentrate on driving through this neighborhood here. And then
in 1,000 feet, turn right onto Shawnee Trail.
I'll pick it up when I'm done.
Take the next right onto Cowboy Trail.
Oh, jeez. I used to live in this neighborhood, and I just passed it's a really nice day, so I don't blame people doing stuff out in the yard, but I just passed a lady, doing some flower bed work.
In a quarter mile, turn right onto Woodside Drive.
Try to make this quick. I had to sell my house, so in the process of selling my house, I had to kind of spruce it up so it looks nice and everything. One of the things I decided to do was plant some flowers out front. I've never planted, up until that point, I'd never planted flowers in my life that I can remember. I mean, ended up being nothing to it, but, I asked, my mom is into stuff like that, and I asked her if she could help me out, and she did. She came over, and it was just me and her doing it. And it went down as, with how nice of a day it was, and how pleasant everything was, and how the whole thing ended up being, you know, I took some pictures of the flowers and stuff, but the whole experience, it's going to go down as one of my best memories, you know, going out there and
Take the next right onto Woodside Drive.
planting flowers with my mom, even though at that point I had to be about 39.
In a quarter mile, turn right onto Diamond Lake Trail.
There was a lot of bad things going on in my life at the times, but so it was a nice reprieve. Somebody got their door open. See, you know, I don't know how long they're going to be there with their door open, so I'm going to try to squeeze by, and unfortunately where I got it delivered to is right here.
Your destination is on the right. The customer requested you leave the order at their door. They added the following instructions.
I'm bringing that up because of a story
Leave
I've
at my
told.
door.
I'm bringing that up because of a story I've told a couple of times. Maybe I'll tell it again, but get this done. Yeah, they still got their door open. All right. I gotta be careful backing up. Got a family behind me. Let's see if I can do this. All right, so anyway, so yeah, okay, so I have an overall rating, you know, and when I first started dashing, I didn't even pay that much attention to it. But, you know, as I've dashed, you know, I pay more attention to it, especially because I am trying to keep my top dasher status. By the way, in order to have top dasher status, which the most important perk for that is, for me, is being able to dash anytime I want. But to have that status, every month you have to keep your numbers over a certain amount. And one of them, of course, is, man, I hope that cat don't get hit going back and forth like that. One of those, of course, is your overall rating. Acceptance rate is another one I have to keep a close eye on, by the way. That's right now it's at 70%. And we're almost to the end of the month. I guess that's another reason why I'm bringing this up. Okay, so normally I have 5 stars across the board, and the rating will stay on there for 100 orders. You know, so somebody gives me a rating, that rating will stay on my numbers until 100 orders. Well, not 100 orders, 100 reviews. So 100 reviews later, that, you know, if somebody's put, you know, giving me a review, a rating, whatever, that will drop off. So to give you an example, right now I have 90 out of 100. It's always out of 100, therefore. So right now, out of 100, 96 of those are 5-star reviews. And I almost always have the bulk of my ratings as 5-star. It sounds like I'm bragging. I'm about to make a point. I'm saying all this. So the lowest I've ever had overall rating is, I think, a 4.91. And up until just a couple months ago, the lowest rating period I had was a 2-star. I'm sorry, a 3-star. And then I got a 2-star. Okay? So a while back, probably about a month ago or something like that, I got a order over in Roanoke for Chipotle. So I go to Chipotle. It's around 5 o'clock traffic time, by the way. So I go to Chipotle, pick up the order. When I walk in, I get an add-on though for Sonic. So I get the Chipotle order. Doesn't take that much time to get the order. But now I've got to go over to Sonic, which isn't that far away, but there's traffic and stuff. Anyways, I go over to Sonic, tell them while I'm there. I tell them why I am there, and then wait for the order. Now, this particular Sonic, I pick up at several different Sonics, but this particular one, I've had experiences there many times where it takes them forever to get the order out. I don't know why that particular one is so bad. So I'm waiting. Remember, I have the first order I picked up, which is Chipotle, in my car, and I'm waiting. When you have two orders, after a certain amount of time, you'll get a notification saying that you can go ahead and unassign an order, whichever one you haven't picked up yet, without a unassigned penalty. And so after I'd waited for a while, I got a notification that I could unassign that Sonic order if I wanted to without a penalty, and I should have just went ahead and did it, but I didn't, thinking that hoping maybe they would have the order out anytime. I'm thinking about myself. I'm thinking about the Sonic employees. I'm thinking about the customer. For myself, I don't want to have wasted that time. I've already been there. The Sonic people, if I just leave, how's that screw them up? And then the customer, they've got to wait that much more longer for their order. So I'm trying to do the right thing. So like I said, I waited a couple more minutes after I got the notification that I could unassign it. But they didn't come out with it, so I thought, okay, I've got to cut my losses at some point. So I went ahead and unassigned the Sonic order and headed toward the Chipotle delivery. It wasn't far away, but I say 5 o'clock. 5 o'clock traffic starts around 3:30 or so. I think it was around that. And therefore, not only was there 5 o'clock traffic, there was school letting out. And over where I was at, they have a bunch of schools and a bunch of houses in this area, at least between the Sonic and the drop-off for the Chipotle, so I had to sit in that too. Anyways, finally get the order delivered. The next day, I get a contract violation for taking a long time to deliver, and it was for a Chipotle. Anyways, just try to shortcut that one. I figured out it was for that Chipotle. And I ended up getting a 1-star review. Then I think it was that. Now that I think about it, that might have been a completely separate instance, but it's just completely unfair, to get a contract violation. I try to appeal it and all that, but anyways, so here recently, I think it was the last time I dashed, because I took the day off yesterday, so that would be Wednesday. I got an order for Taco Bell to deliver not too far away, and ironically ended up being a location that I've delivered to at least once before, but it had been a while since I've been there. And the name of the order was Christina, and something similar to this had happened before, but not with all the different circumstances. So I got it ordered for Christina, picked it up, took it over to there. As I'm pulling in, it's a business. Of course, there's no information that it's a business. It just says hand it to me, which that always happens. Oh my gosh, why? Oh man, try not to complain about traffic today. I know the trucks can't sit there forever, but it's like I'm almost to you, and then he pulled out. Oh boy. Anyways, so as I'm pulling up, I see these two gruff-looking guys. It's like a garbage truck company. These two gruff-looking guys kind of walking across the parking lot. One of them's eyeballing me. It's the same kind of looks and gestures and everything that I get whenever somebody's, when I'm coming up to a location and they're expecting a delivery. But I thought that was, I discounted it because it said Christina on the order. So I park and I'm getting ready to go inside and hand it to Christina or somebody on the inside. But by the time I get out of the car, this guy and this other guy walk up to me. One of them, like I said, tattoos all over his arms, and kind of a young dude, bushy beard, and it's like, "You got a DoorDash delivery?" Or well, I don't know what he said exactly, but I said, "Yeah." But I looked down, I said, "You don't look like a Christina." And I kind of chuckled. And hindsight 2020, I should have just handed it to him left. 99% of DoorDashers probably would. But he's like, "Oh, it's my wife, she ordered it for me." You know. And, I had to make a snap judgment. Like I said, okay, I handed this guy, probably everything's fine, leave, whatever. But what's the right thing to do? The right thing to do would be to make sure you're handing the order to the correct person. Even though, pretty sure it probably is. So I think, okay, I thought, well, let me just call, and he's, he seems like all dumbfounded and stuff. But I was like, I'm just going to call Christina, just make sure. And he starts saying, well, you should have phone number such and such. By then, I'm already dialing the customer, so I'm not going to get out of that and see what number he's calling out to me. But not only that, the DoorDash app is weird.
Take the next right.
A lot of times, or I figured out that the number that is showing for the customer in the app is not the customer's actual phone number anyways. I'm going to have to pause again. It's I just got to order for Whataburger. I've got to try to keep a mental note of where I'm leaving off on this camera. It's not like I've got written notes to go by. Plus, I got to watch traffic and make sure I'm going to the right place, paying attention to any special instructions from the customer, watching out for all the bad driving. I'm trying not to turn this into a rant video, although it is supposed to be about pointing out bad driving stuff. But when you go into these places, just
take the next left toward Lone Star.
Everybody's experienced going to these fast food joints, and the customer service being bad, and a lot of them. But just imagine, spending hours going to a dozen or more different places and having to experience bad customer service in just about every one of them. I mean, I don't understand how some people are like that. Some environments are like that. So, like, if you go into a Chick-fil-A, you notice how people and the employees work. They behave completely different than a lot of other places. Why do you think that is? You think it's a coincidence? So I don't understand. It doesn't matter what the job is. I don't understand coming in, you starting your day, wanting to do the absolute bare minimum, and just going throughout your day with this chip on your shoulder. I'm not happy with what I'm doing either, but I don't make it my mission to make everyone around me as miserable as I am. I mean, I'm not one of those, rainbow butterflies and sunshine kind of people, but you would think most people feel good when they put a smile on somebody's face. I know I do. Anyways, okay, getting back. So, by the way, I realized that contract violation story I was telling you, that wasn't even one of the 1 stars. That was something completely different. It's still unfair. And just, I don't know how clear I was. I got the contract violation for it being an excessively late delivery. But it was an excessively late delivery because of waiting on the Sonic order that I didn't even end up doing. So anyways, so the first 1 star delivery I got ever was one, and none of this stuff I don't know for sure, but I can use given an educated guess, use deductive reasoning, figure out based on the timing and stuff like that. So I went to a school that I'd had problems delivering to before. I don't want to get too much detail. It's about showing ID and stuff, which is a lot of schools they make the average person coming in do it, but if they're door dashing, they won't. Right or wrong doesn't matter. I've delivered to. My point is, I've delivered to a lot of schools. A lot of them don't make me show an ID, and then they just have different methods as far as going in or not and all this other stuff. But this particular school, I've had problems with in the past, so I was kind of already on the defensive. Once I got the order and realized where I was going, I was already kind of on the defensive. But I'm not going to do, because I've explained the story so many times, I'm not going to go into all the details on it. But I ended up kind of getting into it with some of the people inside. I wasn't cussing, I wasn't yelling at them or anything like that, but I did voice my displeasure at how they were treating me. And none of them were the customer. You know, it was a handed to me, but as usual, the customer's not there to hand it to, you know, with these businesses and stuff. You got to you go in there and, you know, the people there aren't the customer, and you leave it somewhere. But, you know, it's just like, why? Okay, if you want it handed to you, make yourself available for me to hand it to, so I don't have to deal with anybody else. But anyways, so yeah, I got into it with them a little bit. And the next day I got a 1-star, I saw that I had a 1-star review. And there's they can also, when they do these reviews, they can give you up or down, thumbs up or thumb down on like friendliness and following instructions, stuff like that. So I had a thumbs down, even though I've kind of crap load of, you know, that I am friendly and stuff like that. But I had one that said unfriendly, and another one saying it was a thumbs down for I don't know, something along those lines. And you know, again, do I know for sure? No. But come on, you know, the timing and all that, getting 1-star, I had to figure it was probably that. So that was my very first 1-star, period. Well, today when I logged on, I saw that I have another 1-star, which gets me kind of worried a little bit because of getting to the end of the month, and I want to make sure I get top dasher. So I double checked, and fortunately, the minimum on that is 4.7. So I'm now at a 4.9, which is the lowest I've ever been at. And you know, I can't. I got to be careful. I don't want to get down to 4.7. So I can't even remember if I started the story on the second one or not. I think I did. I think I did. I never finished it. So the second one was last Wednesday. Yeah, okay, I did. I'm sorry. I picked up a Taco Bell. You know, I went in there and said, you know, yeah, I'd already said, you know, the gruff guy, and you know, the name of the thing was Christina. So I thought, trying to do the right thing. Doing the right thing to me would be calling and just making sure that this guy that I'm delivering to is correct. He's trying to call out the number as I'm calling, but you know, I can't really check that. And they're being, you know, the alpha. I say they because the guy that there was 2 guys that came up. One of the guys, he walked away because it had nothing to do with him. But here in a minute, he comes out and he's cussing and stuff. He's trying to do it jokester like, but he's, you know, kind of mocking me. And that really kind of set me back, you know. Just keep in mind, throughout this whole process, I never once cussed or yelled or anything. And I think I even told the guy at one point, hey, yeah, I'm sure this is fine, you know, just. But anyway, so I dial the number, and he picks up. What I almost did was like, yeah, sorry, so, you know, I almost said that, but I was like, wait a minute, that's the guy right in front of me. So glad I didn't do that. I would have looked really stupid. But it just makes you wonder why he didn't say, you know, because I never heard his phone ring. He had his phone in his hand. I don't know why he didn't say, hey, my phone's ringing. You're calling me right now. But it also is like, okay, wait a minute. So you got Christina in here who ordered for you, but your phone number's in here. I mean, I guess that makes sense. You know, if I have any problems, I would call him. You know, when I call a number, it should be to him. But again, how come none of that was in the special instructions? And again, I have run into similar stuff in the past before, but you know, there's all these things lining up on this one that made it somewhat unusual. So he thought, well, once I, it dialed to his number, okay, well, everything's good. But it's like, no, I still have not verified. Yeah, that was gross. Roadkill. I still have not verified that this is all on the up and up. Now, most people would say, in hindsight 2020, it's like, okay, well, if his phone number's in there, it's probably in the app. I mean, it's probably in there for a good reason. That should have been it. And you're right. You know what? I should have, like I said earlier, I should have just handed it to him no matter what. Just freaking left. It's not worth going through that trouble. But it's me. I'm trying to do the right thing. I'm probably gonna have to pause again. I'll try to wrap it up real fast. So when I indicated I wasn't just gonna give him the food now, he's like, seriously? I've never had this problem before. It's like, well, I said, because I said nobody else cares. I said most people don't care. I said I do. Which I did. You would think the customer would be glad that I'm going through that process. But anyway, so I get in the car, so I'm kind of have some privacy, and I call in the DoorDash support, tell them what's going on. They say basically just to hand the order to the customer. But they also said that they had gotten some sort of message. There was some sort of message to me in the app that I did not know I'd gotten. That's supposed to have been from the wife saying that, it's okay to go ahead and give them the order, and she'd sent a couple of them. Like I said, I'm gonna have to pause. I gotta ring the doorbell on this one, I think.
Your destination is on the left. The customer requested you leave the order at their door. Additional instructions are provided in the Dasher app.
Yeah, this is ring doorbell. Well, I didn't have a chance to ring the doorbell. They met me at the door. So this becomes a handed directly to the customer. Normally I'll text them and say order delivered, so I have that as a backup. But I've got it on camera. Probably should do it anyways. Okay. All right. So, anyways, so I told him, I said, based on them saying that they're, I'd gotten text from the wife. I said, well, the phone number that's in the app is ringing to the guy that's standing here. So it seems to me, I'm paraphrasing what I was telling the DoorDash support person, but it seems to me that if I'm getting a text message within the app from somebody, it would be the guy that's standing here. And therefore that means he's pretending to be the wife. And I'm not saying he's doing it for criminal reasons. He's just doing it because, he thinks I'm stupid. He's just trying to, con me into just giving him the food and leaving, I hope you understand what I'm saying. Which, if that's the case, that bothers me, that, somebody's treating me like I'm dumb. Which, by the way, I think that's what he was doing with me dialing the number in the app. He's waiting for me. He knows it's going to dial to him. He's waiting for it to finish so he can freaking do the haha, catch it. See how stupid you look now? Which bothers me too. I know it comes across as me being sounding incredibly insecure and all that stuff. You got to be there in the situation. It's really hard just talking about it, and even if the camera was on, you probably still wouldn't understand. But anyway, so I just told the DoorDash support person, I said, okay, if you're okay with me handing it to the customer, that's what I'm going to do. And they're like, yeah. And remember, these people are from, I'm pretty sure they're from overseas. They're not based in the United States, the DoorDash support people. I don't know what country, but I would guess India. My point on that is, they have no skin in the game one way or another. Anyways, so yeah, I get out. Meanwhile, I'm also kind of thinking, because I'm on edge, I'm thinking this guy's going to start raising hell or doing something crazy. See, why did that? There's nobody behind me. The next car is probably half a mile back. Why did he do that? That car that just crossed over in front of me. Why? But people do that all the time. I don't understand the thought process. Sometimes if I've been waiting there for a while and I know I have a small gap, I'll do something like that. But it's only if I know that, if I wait for this guy to get by, I'm going to be waiting for a crap,
Make a U-turn.
I'm going to be sitting here waiting for a bunch of other cars. I just passed freaking Taco Bell. This happens all the time, and I got a Taco Bell order. Now I got to go all the way back. I hate it when this happens. Because not only did I pass the freaking Taco Bell and I got to go all the way back, chances are I'm going to go into this Taco Bell, I'll be waiting for 10 minutes for the order. By the way, that's about how long I was waiting for the order at Whataburger. About 10 minutes. I wasn't keeping close track, but I think that's a pretty good guess. Anyways, I was thinking the guy was going to do something. He never did, but I got out of the car and said, okay, it's all yours, man. Handed it to him, and, I don't know what he said. I think he said thanks. But I then noticed that, the customer had texted me. I can't remember exactly what she said. It's something like I already said. It's just, my husband's Hunter, the order's for Hunter. He's saying you won't give him the order. Give him the order, And by the way, I got down the road a little bit, and I get a phone call. I didn't answer it because I thought it was from the customer. I didn't want to deal with it. But later on, I checked the voicemail, and it's DoorDash telling me to hand the order to the customer, which I'd already done. So I figured what happened was you have different departments. You have the DoorDash support people, and then you have the customer service. So probably the wife called customer service, thinking I hadn't given the guy the order yet. Customer service, their left hand doesn't know what the right hand's doing. So they called me and was telling me to hand the order. It's just it's just a chaotic mess, ironic. So yeah, I think that's what the other 1 star's for. That I just saw that I got. I just saw today that I had gotten. So I now have 2 1 stars, and ironically, never even gotten a 1 star up until just like a couple weeks ago, and now I've got 2. All right, I gotta cut it. Going right back to that neighborhood I delivered in for the Whataburger order. Yeah, it's just 1 freaking drink. Well, this customer is going to get 2 extra drinks.
Head east on Talley Boulevard toward.
So yeah, I got to the Taco Bell. I go in there. I mean, it's lunchtime, so they're busier than normal, but it's not really busy. That really doesn't have a lot to do with it. Some of these things I say, it's just for context. To kind of help you kind of get the idea of what's going on. I know. It's like, well, just put on your body cam. It's just a pain in the butt trying to get it on my freaking shirt and, wearing it inside. And then when I get back to the car, I have to take it off, put it on the windshield. And I've said it a couple times before, it really doesn't even matter if you can see it on the camera. A lot of it still won't make a whole lot of sense without me explaining it. And even explaining it, it's like, yeah, so what? Anyways, so I go into the Taco Bell, let them know why I'm there, and they let me know they were working on it. While I was waiting, I got an add-on, okay? So I went ahead and told them, hey, I've got this other order, and they're like, okay, yeah. So they came out with the first order. It's 2 drinks and some food. And then I had asked for a drink carrier on the first order, and so that same guy on the second order, he's like, do you want a drink carrier for these 2? And I thought it was like just 1 drink, so I'm thinking, probably it'd be all right. But I went ahead and asked him anyways. I said, well, how many is it? And he says 2. And I'm looking at the app and it only shows 1, but that happens a lot where the app is showing something different than what they've got. Why? I have no idea. Like Wingstop, a lot of times you'll go in there, it says nothing about a drink, and then they'll say there's drinks. So I was like, okay, yeah, let me. He says there's two, and even though and the app shows one. I said, go ahead and let's go ahead and get another drink here for those. That way, they're it shows them separate. I can keep them separate. I mean, and so he puts two drinks in a drink carrier, brings those over, and then here in a minute they come over with the food. And I say, I'm going to go ahead and take I'm going to take this the first order out and then come back, because I didn't want to be carrying 4 drinks and two that are in 2 separate drink carriers along with all the food. I didn't want to drop it. So I did that. I come back in to grab the other drink carrier, and now there's a third drink out on the to-go rack. I'm like, what? So I just put that in there, and I'm really confused now. I'm like, I sure hope I'm not picking up somebody else's drink, but it's got the delivery seal on the drink, where they seal the top. And I also realized that I'm missing some straws unless it's in the food box. So I go to get some straws. If the customer ends up with some extra straws, so what? At least they have. Better safe than sorry. So there's people like at these electronic kiosks, putting in their order, and as I'm coming back around, one of them says, "Excuse me," to me, and I'm thinking surely she's not talking to me, and I look up and she is. She's like, "Do you work here?" And I said, "No," but I'm just thinking there is absolutely nothing that I'm wearing that would give anybody any impression that I work there. So it's crazy. Speed limit is 55. A lot of people do 60 plus here. I just dropped from about 60 to 44. Oh, he's turning. He's just one of those who slows down way, way too far back. We're going to come to a complete stop. I know he's pulling a trailer, but come on. Yep, almost a complete stop. Yeah, we did. It's 14. Took that turn at about 14 miles an hour. I understand he's pulling a trailer, but come on. You can't do that kind of stuff on a highway. Yeah, it sucks they didn't put in a turning lane. Anyways, I just think it's funny, Do you work here? No. The only thing I can figure is because I was talking to the people behind there about, the order that I was picking up. For some reason, she was just assuming that means I work. Oh my God, here we go again. She was assuming I worked there or something. Anyway, it's just a mess. It's a comedy of errors there. Go get this dropped off. So right now, I've got 5 drinks in my seat besides the food. And I think this first drop off, where it was a question on the drinks, they're going to get 2 extra drinks, it looks like. They're going to probably think that I gave them somebody else's drink. I can't just keep the camera going all day. It's something I've talked about before, but because I don't want to have to go through hours worth of footage.
Your destination is on the left. The customer requested you leave the order at their door. They added the following instructions. Leave at my door.
Make sure I get the right drinks. I thought about texting the customer and just telling them that they gave me a couple extra drinks, and I'm not. I could have kept them and nobody would have known anything. But again, I'm a principled person, so I just gave it to them. So, anyways, I thought about texting them that basically, but once you take a picture and say confirm, that's it. It takes you out of the app. I mean, not app, out of their order, so you can't really text them. So you got to do it ahead of time, and I don't want to sit there and go through the process of texting them. Just get done.
In 1,000 feet, turn right onto Shasta View Drive.
Now, hopefully they're not one of those weird freaking people that they got 2 extra drinks, but somehow that's a problem, and they end up giving me a bad rating for it. I'm sure they're going to think that I gave them somebody else's drink. I just wanted to turn on the camera because it's something funny. You know, other than the Boston Celtics license plate frame, this car in front of me looks just like the car that my son just sold. You know, it's the gray Ford Fusion's, probably about the same year too. But it's got, you know, the tint bubbling in the back, in the rear window. You see a lot of them like that. And just for a second, I'm like, I wonder if that's my son. But then I'm like, wait a minute. He doesn't have that car anymore. Anyways, just thought it was funny. I'm going to go ahead and cut it. Just dropped off that Papa John's order. Was getting back to this area and just got an order for Chick-fil-A. And I think this trailer that's in front of me, this truck and trailer, is the same one I was behind when I was delivering to a neighborhood earlier. It's funny. But what are the chances? I could always look at the video, but I'm pretty sure this is the same one. I mean, nothing like crazy about it. It's just, for one, it's a hell of a coincidence, but I kind of remember because they were driving exceptionally slow out on the highway, turning real slow and stuff. Yeah, I'm almost positive that's the same truck and trailer. You gotta think, you know, thousands and thousands of cars out on the road.
Head east.
Yeah. There was a clip I was talking earlier about this school that I've delivered to before that have had problems, and I had a problem here recently, and I'm pretty sure it was that delivery that gave me a 1-star, my very first 1-star review. And the customer's name on that one was Brittany R. And I tried to, you know, god dang it, really, dude?
In 600 feet, turn right toward Texas 114 West.
I don't understand people. There's nobody behind me. Talking about that white car, should be obvious, but talking about the white car just turned out right in front of me.
Turn right toward Texas 114 West, then turn right onto Texas 1.
Turn it off. Anyways, I've tried to make a mental note of the name, you know, so that based on the name and or address, I can make sure I unassign those orders when I get them. Well, the order I just got was for Brittany R. Talk about coincidences. And so right off the bat, I'm thinking, oh, okay, because I could even see it was kind of going that direction. I was like, this is that customer, and I started to unassign it, but I was looking at it, I was like, wait a minute, no, this is actually, it's in the area, but it's a house, it's not a school. So it's a good chance this is the same Brittany R, but I'm delivering to her house instead of the school. In fact, today's Good Friday, so I don't know if school's out today or not. Pretty sure today's good. You know, I might be wrong. No, yeah, I'm pretty sure today's Good Friday. But that or it's just another Brittany R. Anyways, that's crazy. You know, I was talking about the coincidence with being behind that truck and trailer earlier. Just happened to be behind the same truck and trailer at 2 different places at 2 different times of the day in this area. It's not like this is a small town. Let's see what this state is in front of me. I can't see it. Man, I can't see it. not Texas. Ontario. I think it says Ontario. It's Canada. If I'm reading it right. They sure can't drive for crap. That's what I'm talking about. Interstate speed limit 70. They slowed all the way down to 53 to off ramp. Before they off ramp. I mean, I've said it before, I'm not one of those, I don't believe in driving recklessly, whipping in and out of traffic, all kinds of some craziness. Yeah, it's Ontario. It's part of it's blocked. But also, I mean, some people drive like their damn wheels are going to fall off or something if they go too fast. But anyways, yeah, I picked up a Starbucks order. I picked up a Starbucks before. I'm trying to think how many. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. I think I've picked up from at least 4 or 5 different Starbucks in the time that I've dashed. This one that I just picked up from, it's the only one where they make you go up to the register and tell them why they're there. They won't put the order out on the where they put it for all the rest of the customers. They won't put it out there, just like a lot of these restaurants do, which drives me nuts. The other ones, you come in, you just wait over there by the to-go part of the counter and until they put it out, and then you go. Grab it and go, I mean. But they usually have just really obnoxious, you know, hipster music playing, and it's just really loud. You can barely hear. And then you get the people in there talking on speakerphone or just on the phone really loudly. And you can't wait to get out of there. And just, okay, that's something I want to say. Young people out there and people who might be new to this country, in America, generally, it's considered impolite to talk loudly on the phone in public. If you got to talk on the phone in public, you kind of keep your voice down and, you know, respect people's space. You shouldn't be talking on the speakerphone at all. But if for some reason, some weird reason, you have to, you know, try to keep the conversation, you know, the volume down. But I can't think of any reason why you would have to be on a speakerphone in public. I say that because there's a guy in there just like you see all the time. He's obviously new to the country. You know, don't judge me by saying that. It's nothing. There's nothing malicious about me saying that. You know, they just don't know, I guess. Maybe it's okay where they come from. That's why I'm saying this. So he first of all, after he placed his order, I'm standing there over by the counter. On the way around, he had plenty of room to get by, but he brushes past me as he goes by. So that's another thing, people. Young people, people that are new to the country. Americans generally, I guess it depends on where you're at. Maybe urban areas is different. But generally, we have a personal space bubble. For some people, it's bigger than others. But you definitely know you're inside that bubble if you're brushing up against that person and there's no reason for it. Well, whether there's a reason or not, you're in their bubble if you're brushing up against them. And it just makes it worse when there's no reason for it. But then he goes around, he gets on the phone, and he's just talking super freaking loud. Of course, it doesn't make that much of a difference because their music in there was so damn loud. That could be people say, well, that's why he's talking so loud. Well, when you're competing with the music, you know, I can hear your conversation over their loud music, then that says something. But you know, I'm not a coffee shop kind of guy, but I always thought of coffee shops being kind of this quiet, peaceful place you go to study, to read. You don't want to be home alone or whatever, you know, but you want to be somewhere where it's just peaceful. So that's why I always think of coffee shops as being that way. But man, maybe some Starbucks are, but that one, every time I go in there, their music is just blasting like you're at the freaking disco. I was looking at the bumper sticker on his car earlier.
Take the next right onto Landing Creek Lane, then turn left onto Gatehouse Drive.
And it shows a picture of a bicycle and it says share the road. I've seen that before. And the law, I'm sure, if you were to talk to the people that originally created the law.
Take the next left onto Gatehouse Drive, then your destination will be on the left.
I'm going to have to wait till I'm done with this one. Okay, so yeah, to continue with what I was saying. And by the way, yeah, I know there's some things that I say that offend some of the sensitive types out there, but I can't try to parse absolutely everything I say all the time because people just looking for reasons to be offended. But yeah, anytime anybody's been out on the road, they're in a hurry to get somewhere, and you're stuck behind a bicyclist that's just out for leisure, exercising, you're stuck behind them, then you should understand what I'm saying. But yeah, if you were to talk to the people who originally created these laws about the bicycles being able to use the road, I think they intended it for people that were using the bicycle as an actual means of conveyance. Not just, they're out for leisure, or exercise, like I just said. Some people, they can't afford a car or whatever, bicycle's all they got. They got to be able to get to work or whatever, so they got to use the road. But, we get all these people that, it's mostly the ones like you saw earlier, the exercise people. Every now and then you'll see somebody riding a bike and it's obvious, that's their means of conveyance. And those are probably not the ones acting all entitled. It's the ones that want to just get out there and wear their tight clothes while they bicycle around, and hold traffic up. That make such a big deal about, how they have every right to the road that a car does. The modern system of our road system has been created to accommodate cars, not bicycles. Just like the modern road system has not been created to accommodate horses. There's that same bicyclist. So everybody's got to get over to get around him. And he's just out exercising. Get a bike, get a rack for your car, put your bike on that, and go somewhere that's designated for bicycling. That way you're not in the way. But anyways, yeah. It's, where do we draw the line? Should skateboarders be able to ride right down the road? What if you want to get on your bouncy ball and just bounce on your bouncy ball down the road? Where do you draw the line? So yeah, I have a problem with it. Again, if you have to be on your bicycle, okay, sure. But the law should be, there should be something about that. Like you got to get a permit or something if you're going to be on a road like this. So a cop pulls you over, where's your, I don't know what you call it. Law permit, whatever it's called. Oh, got it right here. Oh, okay. Where are you heading to? Oh, I'm going to work. Oh, okay. I'm trying to do this off the top of my head, but the main point is talking about sharing the road. You're not sharing the road. If you're riding down the road, going max maybe 30 miles an hour usually, and the speed limit on the road is 50, you're not sharing the road. You're taking it over. Just got an order for IHOP. I was coming into this area and it's turning into, coming into Chick-fil-A and wait like I always do. I wasn't driving super fast or super slow. Had my turn signal on. Had it well ahead of time. Just taking a turn. Like I said, I wasn't turning real slow or anything. Oh, I don't want to go this way. And there's a car that was to my left, an SUV to my left, in the lane to my left. About the time I was going to turn, remember, I've had my signal on for a while. They're in the wrong lane, or they're in a different lane. They whip over behind me and just blare on their horn. It's like, what did I do? And then they go up to the light and turn right. So I guess I wasn't allowed to turn. I wish I had the camera on, but you wouldn't have been able to see it. You would just, all you would have heard is here. All you would have witnessed is the sound of the horn. But it was the craziest thing. It made me mad. And for a minute there, you know, I was doing what I always do. My first reaction when that kind of stuff happens, because I hate bullies and I want to fight, my first reaction is to chase their asses down wherever they're going, get out of the car, you know, and confront them. Which I know is not a good thing to do, but that's my first reaction, is to fight. Not physically fight so much as just showing them that I'm not going to just, you know, sit back and let them do that. You know, I'm a person. It's not just a car you're honking at. There's a person inside there. But thankfully, with God's guidance, I just continued on into the Chick-fil-A parking lot and parked, and pretty much immediately got this IHOP order. Oh man, people when they're driving. The reason why we were stopped right there is all these cars that were in this turn only, we're trying to get over. They do it all the time. See, it's not like I was doing something like that. I'll show you what I was doing. No, not here, but just imagine, okay? So I got a turn coming up, all right? Got my turn signal on. This is all I was doing. Got about to the turn, I hear honk. That's all I was doing. Turned just like that. I mean, it's hard to tell, but I mean, it's not like I was turning real slow or something. Freaking people, man. Anyways, what goes around comes around. I did the right thing, I think, by not taking it personally and just going on my way. But it's like I said before, people like that, they're doing it because they're not getting, nobody's calling them out for it. And the number one, the people with that job is police. And I've gone all day. All day I've seen a police car twice. I've driven 86 and a half miles. I've seen a police car twice. Neither one of them had anybody pulled over. That's just, you know, it's usually how it goes. Okay. Unusually, that the IHOP order was ready right away, which is unusual. I was heading back to the car, and I got an order for Cracker Barrel. Cracker Barrel is on the other side of 35. And you're about to see, we got full-on 5 o'clock traffic going on now. Plus today's Good Friday, so I'm guessing the traffic will be heavier than normal. This is gonna suck. You know what I could do is go up the service road and then back down instead of trying to get out here. Let's just go the way it wants me to go, because I got to get over to the far left lane. Ah, crap. This sucks.
Take the next right onto Texas 114 West.
Yep, I gotta get to the far left lane. I was thinking I was gonna have to do it anyways because the IHOP order is back the other direction. So that means I have to turn out here.
In a quarter mile, turn left onto North Freeway, I-35 West Service Road, signs for Fort Worth, I-35W South.
I have to turn out here and then get over. I had an opening there for a second, but I can't do it now. I need to get over one lane. No, I'm sorry, 2 lanes. Well, if I miss it, I could always go up to the next light and come up a different direction. I might even just do it that way anyway. It's not wasting that much time doing it that way. Yeah, these honky McHonks a lot, people. There's a movie, I've talked about this before. There's a movie with Russell Crowe in it. I think it's called Rage. And I think it depicts a true story, but you know, at the very least, there's real stories like this happening out there all the time. Where guy or girl, they're at their end of the rope, and there's this one more thing that needs to happen, and they'll freaking break. They've gone through a divorce. Maybe they've been diagnosed with a terminal illness. Maybe their kid is terminally ill or died. Wow. Jesus, I guess it's that time. The truck's freaking blaring on its horn. I guess he wants to get over. Jesus. Settle down, friend. I gotta get over too. Everybody's in a bad mood. I guess he needs to turn left. Yeah, I'm not going to make it over there.
Turn left onto North Freeway, I-35 West Service Road, signs for Fort Worth, I-35W South.
I would have been able to do it if it wasn't for that truck. The truck's turning
In a quarter mile, turn right.
That truck was turning from the wrong lane.
In 1,000 feet, turn left.
That truck's turning from the wrong lane, too. I'm pretty sure he was the one that was honking real loud. I'm just like, who are you honking at? You know? I mean, it's the same thing that car did. It's like, what are you honking for? Yeah, I wanted to turn left to go up the service road, but I can just go this way. It's maybe, adds maybe, I don't know, 30 seconds to my trip. Probably get there and have to wait on their order anyway. I'm trying to remember what I was talking about for that truck honked their horn. Oh. So yeah, I mean, you never know. I mean, somebody might, there's that one more thing that needs to happen for them to break. If somebody comes up and blares on their horn, you know, for no good reason, the person says, okay, I'm done. You know, I'm not condoning that. I'm not saying that's okay. But I'm just saying, you people out there who do that kind of crap, you don't think. You know, spoiled brats out there they're used to getting their damn way all the time. Sorry, car. Knock on wood, but I've never gotten a ticket, never been in an accident. So my driving speaks for itself. They had, I would say a good 80-90% of the houses I go to, especially in neighborhoods like this, they've got doorbell cameras. But some of them, they got the setting or whatever where it goes camera recording. And it's so obnoxious. You're walking up to these people's door and luckily there's not too many that are like that, but the ones that do, it's like, oh man. I don't know if that's like a default setting. I've never had a doorbell camera, so I don't know what's normal or what, but I don't know if it's a default setting or that's something you actually select. Either way, anybody listen to this, if you have that setting, just so you know, that's obnoxious and it's actually a little bit rude. It shouldn't even be available. I mean, what's the point? You're telling somebody they're being recorded, so what? Oh man, I was going to do I was going to commit a crime, but now I'm not going to because it says camera recording. So it's so dumb. Yeah, I've said it before, you know, after 8 hours of door dashing because of traffic, you when you get done, it's sort of, you almost feel like you've been in a physical fight because of the way people drive. Having to be so alert, constantly watching out for other people and all the crazy stuff people are doing, getting frustrated because of people doing dumb stuff. I was going down this road one time several months back. Sun had gone down. I think it was one of my last dashes of the night. And turned down this road. There's a line of, I don't know, about 6 or 7 cars. Speed limit is 40. We're going like 33, 34 the whole way. We even get up to this point.
In a quarter mile, turn left on Down Place.
We get up to this point, it changes to 45, and they still only want to go, you know, maybe 35. So we get up here, a couple of cars have turned, some of them went straight, and I end up behind a car. So I'm kind of sort of show you.
Turn left on Down Place.
So I end up behind a car. We're turning left, like right here. Right when you turn left, there's 2 lanes that you can go into when you turn. This white car is going to take forever to turn. When we turn, this car in front of me, they're kind of, you know, not making it clear which lane they're going to be in. It looked like they were going to go to the right, so I went to the left, in the lane I'm in now. As soon as I went into the lane, the car whipped over real quick, got in front of me, and same thing, going real slow. The stop sign wasn't here at the time, so you know, I don't want to go 30. You know, well, here it actually is 30, but you know, I wanted to go a little bit faster to get around because we'd been going slow for a long time. I mean, I didn't go like 50, but I wanted to go faster than 30. So I get over in the right lane, he starts speeding up. You know, so he was doing about 30. I get over in the right lane. I'm doing 43 and he's pacing me. So he's speeding up. So we come into the stop sign over here on the right, which is a turn only now. But you know, it doesn't matter because all these cars parked along the curb. I knew I was going to have to get back over to the left. And I'm thinking at the time, this guy, he's deliberately, you know, doesn't want me to go around him for whatever reason. And you know, like I said, I've been saying this, people are like that now. I don't know what it is about people. So I pretty much ran the stop sign. He ran it too, because he didn't want me getting in front of him, but I did. You know, he got right on my butt and flashed his high beams. You know, and then he ended up turning anyways. And it's, oh jeez, lady's not looking. She just turns right. She walks right toward me, just as I was coming up to the stop sign. You didn't see it on the camera. You saw her, but you didn't see what happened. I'm looking over there. I'm watching her to see if she's about to cross the road. I get up to the stop sign. She's looking to the left, still looking to the left when she turns to the right into the road. People, man. But yeah, I mean,
take the next left onto Coyote Way, then your destination will be on the left.
It's stuff like I described with a car. You know, why you end your day feeling like you're in a physical fight because you're having to. Besides everything else, one of the things you got to constantly be doing is calming yourself down. You know, at least for me. You know, trying not to let people get you, you know, get angry.
Your destination is on the left.
It shouldn't be that way. It's like the guys.
Customer
like,
requested
why,
you leave
why is
the
it so
order at their
important
door.
that nobody gets in front of
They
you?
added the following instructions. Leave at my door.
Thought taking a big old dump. Girl watching him do it. Oh my gosh. That's funny. He's sitting there squatted down. Gonna really examine that process. There's that cross I was talking about earlier. They brought a weed eater over here. They chop around it. I mean, to me, my heart goes out to them as far as the death. You know, whatever the loved one was that died. But that's just the place they died. So, I mean, to me, it's like, why would you want to? Because you see that all the time, but obviously they're paying real special care. Why do you want to pay so much attention to where they died? You know, a gravesite, you know, where somebody's buried is where you go to kind of memorialize them, to remember their life, and give them a place of honor, you know, and a place for peaceful rest, I guess. Because it's, you know, again, it should be more about celebrating somebody's life and remembering their life, not remembering their death.